Good afternoon. I'm Rachel Silberstein. I'm the Times Union education reporter. I'm here. It's Thursday, which means I'm here talking about education and some of the big news stories of the week. This week was really big for college students. While colleges have not started classes yet, they start, I believe, in the end of August. Many college students at our 21 colleges and universities in the capital region are from out of state. And as you may have read in the Times Union, there are numerous states that have quarantine orders, travel advisories, where if someone comes in from those states, they are required to quarantine for 14 days. So thousands of college students in the capital region who came in this week, 2 weeks early, to quarantine in their dorm rooms, in some cases in hotel rooms, so that they can meet those quarantine requirements. Today, I have with me Meredith McElroy, who is a junior at Siena College. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to see you too.
So you got here on, what day did you arrive?
I arrived on, I believe it was July 30th or 31st, one of those.
And so people like you, Meredith, are basically confined to one room, right? Do you have your own bathroom? Is that how it works?
We do, yeah. So at Siena, everyone is living in Snyder Hall, which is a junior dorm, and all of the rooms over here have our own bathrooms, showers, sinks, all of that, yeah.
And there's no roommates, right? Everyone's getting their own room this semester, or?
So for quarantine purposes, actually, there are two people in most rooms. I have kind of a different circumstance. I'm living in my own room because Snyder Hall will be my permanent residence for the school year. But most people have one roommate, and most people know each other, honestly, who are coming from out of state. So you could request to live with someone in the quarantine period that you know, which is great.
Got it. So it's sort of this like little circle that you create. Are all the quarantine students allowed to interact with each other, or are they supposed to keep to their separate bedrooms?
Yeah, so we're not supposed to be interacting with anyone. We haven't left our rooms yet. Today is the first day that we're actually going to be allowed to just go outside for about an hour. We have some awesome employees of the college who are going to hang out outside and give us a little break from being inside for a while, which is awesome.
That's really intense. So you haven't left your bedroom for essentially 7 days.
Yeah, this is day 8 for me, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you talk me through sort of that process, like what that's like? Your first days, you're probably like, okay, this is weird. Tell me how you got your food, first of all. How did you guys eat?
Yeah, absolutely. So I came a couple days earlier than when most people moved in. So for the first 4 days, I was one of probably 3 or 4 people on campus. And so I had my first couple days worth of meals dropped off. The college supplied us with a microwave and a refrigerator. So I had my meals in there, just kind of heating them up, cereal and things for breakfast, which was great. And then now that most people are here, I think we have 90 to 100 students on campus. They are dropping off our meals in the evening around 5 o'clock. So I'll drop off dinner for that night and then breakfast and lunch and snacks for the following day, which has been great. Yeah.
So what's that experience like psychology? I mean, we talk a lot about like, I think, we've banned like isolation in prisons, and this obviously it's not the same as prison. It's pretty comfortable living space, but what's that like psychologically? Like from the first day, can you take us from the first day till today, sort of how you've evolved and filled the time and managed to create some structure in your day?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think it's really what you're getting at is it's kind of mind over matter in the situation that we're in. Thankfully, I'm so grateful to have been working with some other students and some employees of the school to put together events for the people who are in quarantine. So I feel lucky to kind of be a middleman. I've been here for enough years that I have contacts, but I'm also in this quarantine situation. So we've been having activities like Zoom workouts. Campus ministry has been hosting events. We've had student wellness leaders hosting walk-ins and things so that the people who are in quarantine don't feel so isolated. Even when you're physically isolated, we're not socially isolated, which has been a real blessing. But definitely the first couple days were weird, just mentally knowing that there weren't many people here at all. I just have been really good at making sure I have a routine during the day. So getting up and, reading a little bit of a book, making sure I'm not sitting in my bed to have breakfast, little things like that, painting during the day, finding little things to keep my mind occupied, calling family and friends a lot, just making sure that there's something to do every day to look forward to, kind of.
That's good. And I guess not having classes to sort of give you a structure, even virtually, you have to be very self-motivated to make sure you're doing something every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Our classes don't start until the 24th of August. So it definitely is a lot of self-motivation. I know that a lot of the people quarantining right now are student athletes. And so some of them are quarantining with their teammates, which is really cool. I know they've been doing workouts in their rooms or kind of just bonding that way, but a lot
Wow,
of self-motivation for sure.
that's amazing. So they actually have like a workout regimen that they've created for the athletes.
Yeah, some of the athletics department, some athletes created kind of like no weights, no workout materials required workouts for us to do online. So that's been a great resource people have been taking advantage of. Yeah.
That's really cool. So you said you've been painting a lot. Could you show us some of your paintings?
Yeah.
You're probably super productive. You have
Yeah.
all this time.
I would have to find. I can go grab one in a second. It's just something I do to de-stress. I do it all the time with my friends and things like that.
What do
Nothing.
you use? Is it watercolor or oils?
Just like acrylic paint, normal 50 cents acrylic paint from the paint store. Yeah, I'll go grab one off my wall that I did. Really simple things, just kind of for fun to get just on paper, little sunsets, things like this. All of my decorations on my wall, I can show you really quick. I've painted or done, so I've kind of been decorating a little bit, which has been
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So you've been keeping yourself busy.
Yeah, it's a great de-stressor, and nobody is telling me what I have to do with painting, so I can just do whatever I want with that, which is nice.
Why is it that you decided to come a little earlier than everyone else? Was it just when your flight was, or?
Yeah, I actually drove up with my parents. I had to come a little bit earlier because I'm an orientation leader, and we have training for orientation starting on the 14th.
Got it.
So I was the college was able to accommodate me and let me move in a couple days earlier so that I can still help out with orientation in a couple weeks.
Got it. So this is going to be your permanent dorm room. I know that some campuses are coming up with quarantine housing if there's a breakout or someone has COVID, but this is your dorm room and you just moved in earlier and you get to stay there.
Yeah, for me, I'm quarantining in my permanent dorm room. Most people who are in quarantine, this building isn't their permanent dorm room, so they were asked to drop off most of their belongings in their permanent room for the year, and then bring over essential type things, so clothes, snacks if they brought any. The school provided bedding and towels for people who are in rooms that are not their current rooms for the year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So have you guys sort of like bonded over the fact that you're all on lockdown and can't leave your rooms?
Yeah, a little bit. We had a Zoom last night with everybody who's in quarantine right now, just to kind of chat about the fact that we'd be able to go outside today, and it was good to just see some other faces of people who are here. It's been a big Siena motto to say that you are not alone during this whole pandemic quarantine process. So it's great to just see that other people are actually here, and hear people moving in down the hall a couple of days ago was great.
What was that like? Can you talk a little bit about like last semester, how, campuses were forced to shut down? What's it like sort of being a college student during this crazy period, where, it almost seemed like there wouldn't be a campus life this year?
Right, absolutely. I think that most college students, if you ask them, none of us thought that schools were going to close the way that they did. I know all of my friends here, we were talking kind of like it was a joke and not really understanding the severity of the situation, because I don't think anybody really did. But, schools were telling us to bring our textbooks home and clothes home and things like that. And that was pretty surreal. I was actually heading out on an immersion trip to Guatemala for spring break when all of this started happening. So a couple great friends and students from Siena and we were in Guatemala when we heard that everything was closing. And then to come back from that awesome trip and pack up my whole dorm room and drive home was surreal. It was a crazy experience. thankfully I brought everything home, because if all my things were left up here, that would not have been good. But it was definitely a learning experience, learning how to do online classes. Not my favorite thing in the world, but our teachers, our professors were pretty lenient and understanding of the situation, which was great.
Is the general sentiment that like going into quarantine for 2 weeks and making some sacrifices about like social distancing and wearing masks, that it was worth it? It was a worthwhile sort of sacrifice to be able to return to some sense of normalcy?
Oh, absolutely. I think that most, if not all, of the people who are in quarantine right now realize that it's not something that the college decided. It's not something that we all want to be sitting around here for 2 weeks doing nothing. But we're pretty excited to, I think, see our friends and at least have the experience of physically being here on the campus,
Yeah.
instead of all being at our own homes and doing classes online like that. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the first thing? So today is your first day out of the room, right? Like you get to
Yeah.
walk around and see the sunlight.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yes, absolutely. My room has such a great view of like the trees and the grass outside, so I'm really looking forward to heading out there in a little bit.
Have you guys sort of like fantasized about like what is the first thing you're going to do when you're freed from captivity?
Yeah, I have a little bit. The first day that my quarantine is over, my roommate is moving back onto campus from Massachusetts, so I'm just excited to see her and see her parents. Honestly, to just walk around campus and see what it's like and how it's changed. I know there's different precautionary things set up. We have some tents set up in the quad, so just excited to be a little bit more free once this is all over.
Have you scoped it out yet? Like, have you looked around and seen the setup, or you just kind of heard about it?
Yeah, when I got on campus, I was able, the day I was moving in, to just kind of see it briefly from afar.
Yeah.
We have 3 different tents, I believe, set up in the quad for eating purposes. There might be a few classes out there. Student activities might be hosting some events outside. So I'm excited to see a little bit more of it once I can walk around and once we're in training in different buildings, which will be great.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a surreal, crazy, wild junior year.
Yes.
And it's really cool that you're so upbeat about it and are able to like see the positive and really like, you know, see it for what it is. Any other advice to the folks who are just starting out their quarantine right now, like about sort of creating some structure, some semblance of normalcy in your day?
Yeah, I would just say for anybody at Siena or at other schools where you're having to quarantine, just make sure that you're checking in with other people, even if you don't want to. I've been, calling my mom every day and checking in. Have some awesome friends who have been texting me every morning to ask me how my day is going. Just try and make it seem as enjoyable as possible. Kind of, it's the whole mind over matter thing again. It's 14 days, and it's not what we really want to be doing, but I know that after this, it'll be better and we'll be able to see people again. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right. Well, if anyone has any questions for Meredith, you can submit them on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, and they will get to us. This is really just a unprecedented sort of college experience, and you're one of the first people who had to, one of the pioneers. So thank you for sharing your experience with us. I think it'll be, really interesting moving forward to see how colleges sort of grapple with public health situations like this. And hopefully there will be a vaccine soon and things can go back to normal.
Absolutely. That's what we're looking forward to, hopefully.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I will sign off for now if there are no questions. And good luck to you guys.
Great. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Of course. Take care.
Bye.